welcome to lesson 4.3. We are going to be multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So the first thing we're going to do is just how to simplify one. So when it says write an expression that is equivalent to this expression, we're really going to be simplifying the fraction in a sense. So it gives you an example here of how do you simplify 12 over 16. Yes, I'm sure at this point you would just look at 12 over 16 and take a 4 out of both, right? But what's really happening, if you break down each numerator and denominator by its rationalization, you see that there's two sets of 2's that you're going to be crossing out that will get you down to the 3/4. That's the same thing you're going to do with this rational function. You can factor the numerator into x times x minus 8 times x plus 3, and you can factor the denominator into x times x minus 8 times x plus 9. The second step you're going to do at this point, you're going to consider the domain, because before you start crossing stuff out, the domain of the simplified fraction is going to be the domain of the original. So you have to consider that x can be all real numbers except 0, 8, and negative 9. And it's those numbers because those are the numbers that make each part of the denominator 0. Then you can cancel out the x and the x minus 8, and you're left with just the x plus 3 over x plus 9. And the domain is, even though for x plus 3 over x plus 9, it really would be negative 9, right? The 0 and the 8 exclusions still hold because they were excluded from the original. Okay. So at this point, I want you to pause it, give it a try, and then come back and we will check it. So the first thing I did was I factored in 2 steps. Did a GCF first in both numerator and denominator, then I factored the trinomial numerator, and then the difference of squares in the denominator. I found that I could divide out an x cubed from both of those terms, so I end up with 3 and 2x, and I can also factor out the x minus 7's, or divide out. So you end up with 3 times x plus 1 over 2x times x plus 7. The domain figured out at that point where x can equal 0, 7, or negative 7. All right, let me know if you have questions. Let's look at example 2.